Friends and family, it's time again for another video, and in this video I am going to show you how to correct over processing or over bleaching your closure. Okay, in a previous video I showed you how to bleach your knots in a closure when the knots are very visible, and I did that, which was great. But then I had to change my closure because the one that I had installed was too short, so I bought another one. And so I had to bleach the knots on the new one, the 12-inch closure. And so I applied the solution and everything, and I went downstairs and had a very long conversation with my family, and yes, it got over processed. So even though I'm really enjoying it right now, I installed it anyway because I knew there were ways to make it look okay, so I installed it. But now I'm ready to fix it, so let me show you what it looks like when it is over processed. I think I was telling you in the other video when I was bleaching the knots that it's going to look like you have gray or blonde hair and you dyed it black and then you're getting new growth. So that's what I'm going to show you, what that looks like right now. So you see that? That's what it looks like when you over process it. This is how I fixed it, and I'm rocking it out. You can do that. It's very simple. All you do is once you make the parts like this, let me show you real quick before I do this. Once you make that part, you go ahead and you take, either your eyebrow pencil or your eyeliner. So either your eyebrow pencil or your eyeliner, and you color, a portion of it. You can see as I'm coloring it, and you just keep doing it till that line becomes thinner, right? And you're done. So anytime I do a part, I have to do that now, but I'm tired of doing that. I know it's time to fix it, so I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. So now I'm going to pull out my closure, section that off. And I'm going to dye the roots of the closure, not all the way to the scalp, of course, because I want to make sure that I can still part the hair and the closure still looks like you can see my scalp and not bleached hair. Okay, so I bought this hair dye, and it is Bigen or Bigen, I don't know. The color that I got was black brown. Okay, and this is what it looks like in here. I already took out the instructions. It comes in this container. These are gloves. This is a powder. Okay, this is the powder hair dye, and this is a measuring container. Okay, so the instructions are here. I already took them out. And so you go ahead and you mix it. Now the most important thing, again, just like when you're doing the closure, is you don't want to make that solution thin. It can't be runny because it's going to seep down into your, the base of your closure, and then, well, for this one. So you don't want the solution to be runny because you don't want it to seep through and penetrate to areas that you don't want it to be. You want it to be able to apply it only where you need it, right? It's the same as when I was doing the bleaching of the knots in the closure. I wanted to be able to control where that bleach went to, and therefore I made it thick, right? So that's what I'm going to do with this one, so that I don't re-darken the base of my closure, the lace. Okay, so I know it's got instructions here, how much water to use and everything, but I will not be following that because I definitely want to make it thicker than what they have instructed me to make it. So when I open it, it's got a plug thing on the top, which you have to pull out like that. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to pour a little bit of it in here. Yeah, it's a powder. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need. I don't think I'm going to need a whole lot. I don't want to do the whole bottle. And I'm going to mix it. It can't be runny, so you see what it looks like in there. Yeah, it's getting a little bit thick. It's pretty thick. Look at that. It won't even move, which is good. That's the thickness that I needed, but the quantity is not enough. So I'm going to add some more, and I'm going to keep doing it that till I get what I feel is the right quantity. I think half of the bottle is good enough. I got half of it. So now I might dye the edges of this right here. I think that's a good idea. I'll do that. If I have any left over, that's what I'm going to do. So let's turn it this way so you can see. I'll try to show you in the camera as I do it. Yeah, this is hideous, very hideous. So as you can see, the color is already starting to get dark. So I need to work fast. So you're going to make thin lines, right? So you want to be able to get everything. Look at that, it looks hideous right there. And try not to press down. Same thing as we did with the bleaching the knots. You don't want to press down and let it penetrate to somewhere, you know, a section that you don't need to get darker. Okay, this section isn't too bad. Oh, that's because I colored it. Alright. So I'm going to do this all the way through. And then I'll do the edge of the closure. So you see how horrible the over-bleached knots look? Oh my gosh, because it bled through the lace closure into the hair. It looks really, really bad. So I am so glad that there's a way to fix it. So you have to be very careful when you're fixing it. Just make sure that you make very small parts, you know, when you part the hair, and that you take your time and apply the dye just above the parting. You know what I mean? So don't try to meet the parting with the brush. Just put the brush with the solution, with the dye solution, just above the parting, just like that. Okay, so don't go through the parting with it. Just over to the side of the parting, whether to the left or the right, you apply the dye, and then you're all set. Then you don't have to worry about making a mistake, because remember, the lace closure is porous. It's got holes in it. So once you put the dye into it and it actually seeps below it, it is very difficult to get it out. So just take your time. Make sure your solution, the very important thing, make sure your solution of the dye is thick. That way it's not runny and it's not that easy to make a mistake. You know what I mean? You want to make it difficult to make a mistake, because cleaning up something like this, if it's gone through the lace, is going to be difficult. So make your solution as thick as you can. That's what I did, and that makes it mistake proof, because y'all, this girl right here, clumsy. I am so grateful I was able to fix this, because it looked so hideous. I mean, you can see from these pictures how the
the scalp, the closure looks like, my hair was all gray and just started, to grow in after a black hair dye. So this is the easiest way to fix it, and if you follow the steps that I've shown you, there'll be no mistakes, and you'll be good to go in about half an hour.
For non-chemically treated hair, you want to leave this on for 30 minutes. For chemically treated hair, you want to leave it on for 15 minutes. So if you have no chemicals in your hair, 30 minutes. It takes longer to penetrate because the hair is still virgin hair. If you've treated it chemically, it's weaker, and so it won't take that long to penetrate, so you only need 15 minutes. I didn't look at the time when I started. I looked at the time when I started, but it didn't register. So I'm assuming I took 5 minutes to apply, so I'm going to give myself another 10 minutes at least. While I'm waiting, I'm going to just do random parts in there and just see if I got everywhere. Oh shoot, I got the scalp in some places. So I'm trying not to do. Got the scalp in some places. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. Alright, so I'm going to do the edge of the lace now. I don't have much left, so I'm just going to, instead of leaving it to waste, I'm going to do the edge of the lace. The perimeter of the lace is what I'm trying to say. So what I noticed is that the mixture gets thicker and thicker as you go, and of course the color starts to just change. So the light brown mixture is now black. So that's what happens, and that's why in the instructions it says apply it quickly, because you'd prefer the color to change while it's on your hair and not while it is in the container, right? So I'm all done. I'm going to go ahead and wash this out with shampoo, and I'll be back to show you the finished results. Okay? All right. Friends and family, it is finished. Okay, so it's all done. You can see the scalp is much better now. We're all set. It colored it perfectly. I am so glad. There we go. That is as good as it gets. See this side. Ah, yeah, look at that. All right, guys. So we're all set. And incidentally, this is what the hair looks like when it is wet. And I'm sweating like a dog. Okay. So I'm all done. I'm going to leave it to air dry, and oh, let me show you the edges that I dyed. So here are the edges. You see the edge of the closure? Yeah, it dyed very well. It took the color well, I should say. Where's the edge of the closure on this side? Yeah, and there's the edge of the closure on that side. You can't even see it. So the dye took very well. So I think that's the kind of dye I'm going to use next time if I need to dye for my own hair. You know what I mean? It is just perfect. I couldn't have asked for better. So ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, comrades and colleagues, I'm tired. So I'm going to bed. As soon as I stop sweating, I pray you all have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will talk to you again in the very next video, okay? All right, bye.